Welcome. This is D.L. Hughes from VelocityWriting.com, where you'll learn to write with speed, passion, purpose, and profitability. Every writer has a little voice in their head telling them their writing is no good. That sentence is so weak. That character is stupid. No one wants to read your book. That's what we say to ourselves, all of us at one time or another. Of course, that trash talk destroys our creativity. How to tame your inner critic? That's coming up in 5 seconds. I'd like to invite you to subscribe to my channel. Be sure to click on the bell icon to get notified about new videos. If you gain helpful insight, please click like. Also, your comments are always welcome. What is self-talk? I was lucky enough to learn about how the inner critic works early in my writing career. I was wandering down a street in the French Quarter in New Orleans and saw a book on self-talk in a bookstore window. I'd never heard of the term before and was curious enough to walk in and buy it. Sorry to say, I lent that book to a friend and never saw it again, so I can't tell you the title or the author. But I did learn about the dynamics of self-talk and how it can make us or break us. Self-talk is the interior dialogue we all experience. It's triggered by our subconscious mind, and it silently articulates our ideas, beliefs, questions, hopes, and fears. Of course, self-talk can be positive or negative. Few of us have an issue when our self-talk tells us to work smarter or be more creative. All the problems come in our lives when the self-talk turns negative. Negative self-talk destroys relationship. Your inner voice starts saying, I hate my partner. It ruins jobs. My boss is an idiot. And of course, it kills writers because their inner voice is a constant critic that sucks the joy out of writing. Why are writers so hypercritical about their work? Well, that's the question I want to answer. The source of your inner critic. There's a thing called the self-talk scale. The SDS measures 4 specific self-talk functions: self-criticism, self-reinforcement, self-management, and social assessment. Our focus will be on the self-criticism research. What kinds of situations generate a higher frequency of self-talk and the potential for more negative self-criticism? Well, according to the research, an increase occurs because of what's called the social isolation hypothesis. This does not bode well for writers. We purposely self-isolate to concentrate on our work, so we must guard against negative self-talk in our isolation. As writers, we are in a perpetual state of self-talk, and this may become dangerous if the talk turns negative. Now, one way to overcome this is by spending time with friends and family. And from that healthy interaction, we can go back to our cocoon of isolation when we're ready to write. It's about balance. Another situation that generates more self-talk and possibly debilitating negative self-criticism is called the cognitive disruption hypothesis. The idea here is that any cognitive disruptive experience, such as anxiety, obsessive compulsive tendencies, or perfectionism, triggers an increased self-talk frequency and negative self-criticism. Now, that state of mind may relate to the personal life of the writer, or the writer may be trying to resolve, understand, or clarify the conflicts of their characters. The trick is knowing if we are experiencing the cognitive disruption, which is bad, or if it is our characters, which is good. We need to exploit both social isolation and cognitive disruption to enhance our plots and characters. but we cannot allow ourselves to fall victim to the collateral damage of negative self-talk. Social isolation and cognitive disruption are major culprits behind negative self-criticism. These are often the seeds of discouragement and depression. Also, they make life and writing less fun. How to control your inner critic. Writers need to know how to filter destructive, negative self-talk. Yes, it is a bit of a tightrope because we want to be able to evaluate our work as we write without that becoming toxic. Here's how to filter the negative self-talk. Listen to yourself. Most of us never listen to our self-talk in a conscious way. Separate the self-talk that is helpful from the self-talk that is negative. Identify the emotions attached to the negative self-talk. Immediately change the channel by changing your emotion and rephrasing the negative self-talk into a more helpful phrase. It's kind of like clicking a TV remote control. For example, negative self-talk flashes across your mind. This page is crap, it's all wrong, it's pointless and stupid. You listen to yourself. You determine that the self-talk is indeed negative. You identify the emotion attached to the talk. You change what you say to yourself. You immediately say something more helpful and probably more truthful. You say something like, this page is not what I want it to be. What 3 things can I do to make it better? You see, negative self-talk is transformed in the moment to something that will make you a better writer. Many of you will think this is too hard and won't do it. However, keep in mind that negative self-talk is, on one important level, nothing more than a bad habit. And as we all know, it takes sustained conscious effort to break any bad habit. Here's a bonus idea that may help you. That is, when you listen to yourself, whose voice do you hear? Is it a parent scolding you? A sibling making fun of you? A spouse taunting you? Is it an old teacher criticizing you? The reality is the negative self-talk we speak is often not our own. It is the ghostly voice of harsh critics from our past. Some may have been well-meaning, but if you hear their voices as negative self-talk today, you must shut them out. They are no longer allowed to speak to you as self-talk. Listening to your own positive voice is what makes us all mature human beings. Free your mind of negative self-talk and you'll become more creative and productive. A mind free of negative self-talk is liberating. Have a great writing day.